You're listening to the Shout Podcast, the official health and well-being podcast from the Firefighters Charity.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Shout Podcast from the Firefighters Charity. My name's Kim Robson, and coming up, we take a look back on last week's Spirit of Fire Awards. Introduced by His Royal Highness the Duke of Cambridge and featuring 14 awards, the charity's first ever virtual ceremony celebrated some remarkable achievements and some truly incredible people. So we'll reflect on a memorable evening and talk to some of our very deserving winners about what a Spirit of Fire Award means to them. A little later, we'll also talk to 4 of the charity services leads to find out how you can still access the support you need during lockdown and what you can expect from a visit from one of the centres once things get back to some kind of normal. As usual, of course, we'll also round up your fundraising highlights in our Thank You To segment, and we'll take a quick look at some of the ways you can continue to fundraise through the pandemic and over the winter months. First, though, let's look back on the Spirit of Fire Awards 2020.
The Spirit of Fire Special Recognition Award for Excellence in the Field of Mental Health goes to Sheila Patel.
As soon as His Royal Highness was speaking, and when he said my name and it flashed up, I think I just froze. I was completely unaware that I was nominated or that I was going to be presented with an award. I think for most of us, we see it as our day job and something that we're really passionate about. And then when somebody recognises you, particularly somebody like His Royal Highness, it just took me back massively. And yeah, just so grateful and just very proud. And for me, whilst this is an individual award, it's a team award. So it's not just for me. It's for everybody in United Minds.
The Supporter of the Year Control Staff Award was announced by Dame Catherine Granger.
And I am delighted to reveal that the winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Supporter of the Year Control Room Staff Award is Linda Coughlin. Huge congratulations, Linda.
Yeah, it was a surprising shock because I looked at the other nominees as well and I thought they deserved it better than me, you know. So and so it was it just took God defeat from us this morning, last night when we were watching it. We watched it on the smart telly, you know. So, and we had it in subtitles because my husband's hard of hearing and he says, "Oh my God, there's your name," and you know, so my name in lights right enough.
Our Supporter of the Year Non-Uniform Award was announced by Jason Watkins.
I'm delighted to reveal that the winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Non-Uniform Supporter of the Year Award is Emma Satchel.
I was absolutely gobsmacked, to be honest. I was amazed to be shortlisted in the first place, and then when it got announced that I've won, just absolutely gobsmacked. Well, my youngest is only 9, so he was well impressed that his mum was on YouTube.
The Supporter of the Year Retired Award was announced by Simon Day.
And I'm delighted to say that the winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Retired Supporter of the Year is your year, my year, this year. It's been a terrible year. Not for this lady. Michelle Carter. Hooray!
Absolutely shocked. Completely and absolutely shocked. As I say, I just burst into tears because I couldn't believe that my name came up like that. It was just such a shock. It really was, darling. It really was.
Our Young Supporter of the Year award was announced by Maddie Moat and Greg Foote.
We are delighted to reveal that the winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Young Supporter of the Year award is...
Drumroll.
Michael Bottomley!
Hey.
I felt shocked. Everyone in my family started cheering. What really matters is me being nominated. Because there's only 4 people in the country, and that's a very, very high standard to at least get into one of the places.
The Supporter of the Year Corporate Award was announced by Chair of the Board of Trustees, Andrew Lynch.
And I'm delighted to reveal that the winners of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Corporate Supporter of the Year Award are the Co-op, Danny Howarth and Shane Reeves, and many, many congratulations.
I was so pleased when we were nominated, especially for Shane, with his dual role, working for the fire brigade and working for the business as well, and it was Shane that really inspired his colleagues to participate in the fundraising.
Our Special Recognition Award for volunteer fundraising by an employee was announced by the Reverend Kate Botley.
So I am absolutely delighted to announce that the winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Special Recognition Award for Employee of the Year is, of course, Mr. Kevin the Flame Biles. Congratulations, Kev. Woo! You're amazing.
I was totally shocked, surprised, but at the same time, obviously, totally overwhelmed, really.
We'll have the second part of our Spirit of Fire Awards roundup a little later on. But next up, the lockdown in England may well have meant that our centres have had to temporarily close once again, but that doesn't mean our services have stopped. Indeed, if you need support, the charity is still open for you, and there are a host of ways we can help you, whatever your need. To explain more, Tim Bainan caught up with Nursing Services Lead Kath Savage, Physical Health Lead Nikki Patton, Psychological Services Lead Jane Rosso, and Welfare Services Lead Carrie Pearce.
Kath, Carrie, Jane, Nikki, thank you for joining us today on the Shout podcast. It's great to have you. I'd like to kick off, if we can, just by asking you guys just to shed a bit of light on the current situation for our listeners. So obviously we're in lockdown now again, and the world is a very strange place in regards to restrictions around COVID. With all that in mind, perhaps you could just tell us a little bit about what the charity is actually able to provide in regards to support for our beneficiaries during these strange times. Nikki, perhaps you could kick us off.
The charity is able to provide support to our beneficiaries all across the UK through digital support, and we've actually been able to provide over 1,000 appointments since March, since the first lockdown, and that's for nursing clients, welfare, psychological and physical rehab.
Nikki, you mentioned there about our video conferencing facilities and how we can support people online. I know that's called Attend Anywhere. Can you tell us exactly what is it and why is it working so well?
So it's a platform that's got a lot of great feedback, including an outstanding from CQC in some of the NHS spheres it's used in. So we've adopted this for our one-to-one online sessions. It provides a confidential space for our beneficiaries to chat with our clinicians and practitioners, and we can assess them. Obviously it's video, so we can see what people's physical problems may be. We can chat and provide advice, and we also use this in conjunction with Solasso, an app we also have, which we can provide exercises for relevant exercises for people depending on what their need is, and these exercises are in a video format, which is really super easy to see and understand, and have a description as well, so people can easily follow them.
Obviously, we're in lockdown again now, but the centres did reopen back in September for a period before we all got locked down again. Obviously, we all hope that that'll be for as short a time as it possibly can be, and that people will be back at centres before too long. With that in mind, and with hopefully the prospect of people returning in the not too distant future, can you tell us a little bit about the steps that we've put in place to keep people safe at our centres when they do get back there? Kath?
When we knew the centres were going to reopen, we carried out extensive risk assessments, and we've implemented lots of different measures to make sure they're as safe as they can be for our beneficiaries, but also for our staff as well. So obviously we've got social distancing measures in place. So this includes one-way systems, perspex screening around this various areas of the centres. We've introduced rehab bubbles, so our beneficiaries will take part in the programme, and they'll be in a rehab bubble of no more than 6 beneficiaries. They will as I say, take part in the programme with these beneficiaries, but they'll also have meal breaks with these beneficiaries and be able to kind of with them in an evening as well. Staff will also be wearing various forms of PPE depending on what sessions they're delivering, and we also ask that our beneficiaries, when they are at our centres sort of milling about the corridors, that sort of thing, that they also wear face coverings as well. And in addition to that, we are also monitoring our beneficiaries and also our staff temperatures on a daily basis. Sure. It's also important, I guess, to say that as well on confirmation. So all beneficiaries will receive an email on confirmation of their booking, and in that email there's a PDF document attached to that which outlines a lot of information about the measures that we've put in place. In addition to that, there's also a video link on that email as well, and that video link guides the beneficiaries through what they can expect at the centres in relation to our COVID measures that we've put in place.
As we've said already, these are strange times. What would you say to people who are feeling really quite anxious about the current situation and maybe reluctant or even unsure whether they can pick up the phone to talk to us? What would you say to them, Nikki?
I think it's really important that people do remember we are still here, we are still open, and that you're not bad enough to contact us. Actually, if you have a need, then please do pick up the phone. We are here and we can help you.
And Jane, perhaps you could tell us a bit more about who can actually access our digital support. Is it just something for people with a physical need, or can anyone, regardless of need, pick up the phone and access that digital support if they need it?
Certainly from a psychological perspective, we launched our online counselling service in July because what we'd like is people to contact us at an early stage, when they need early help, so they don't have to be in a crisis or see the charity as the last resort for psychological services. We're there right from the outset if life is becoming slightly difficult. All our practitioners at the charity have been trained to fully meet the BACP competences in providing online therapy, and we offer the option of either online, sort of via webcam when you can see each other, or actually on the telephone. And we're pleased with the results. It's been going well and feedback is good so far.
And Carrie, what about the welfare team? What support is there for those needing support in regards to some of the issues that you guys tackle?
Currently, the welfare team aren't based in the centres. We are working predominantly from home and supporting people either digitally, perhaps with some support with completing application forms, listening to people's needs, looking at individual packages to support people at home. That can range from giving people advice around information to do with COVID, so employment issues, welfare rights, benefits, those types of things that are affecting people kind of in their everyday life. We're also supporting at the moment quite a bit with adaptations, pieces of equipment, so stair lifts, helps with wet room facilities, those types of things. We're able to give people information about grants that they might be able to apply for in the community to help with those things.
That's great. And do you think people will be surprised perhaps at some of the things that we might be able to support them with that they may not have even thought of before?
Absolutely. Over the initial phase, we were helping lots with getting people local support in their community, referring to local hubs, helping to arrange for people to get their .com shopping, lots of things that perhaps we wouldn't normally have got involved with. We've been working quite closely with local communities to ensure that our beneficiaries are getting support. Our local fire stations quite often have welfare teams within them, so we've been working closely with them to make sure that perhaps people that couldn't get out to pick up prescriptions or needed, something extra, perhaps not having family contact nearby, that they were well supported. So we spent quite a lot of time doing that in the early part of March and April. And now we're just building on that really and making sure that people have got everything that they need to prepare not only for this second wave that we're going through, but the winter. We've got the winter coming on as well, and obviously all the bits and pieces that get associated with the winter that make things a lot more challenging for people to manage at home. So we're dealing with all of those things.
And Kath, what about our nursing clients? Obviously, we can't support them at Jubilee House like we would usually do, but what support can we and have we been offering them during this time?
We're not in a position at this moment in time to offer any residential support to our nursing client, but right throughout lockdown, we've been offering digital support to a lot of our nursing beneficiaries and also their carers as well. That's really important to say that, yes, it's an isolating time for our vulnerable nursing beneficiaries, but also for their husbands, wives, partners, any sort of family member who may be at home looking after them as well. So we've been using various forms. So we've been offering attend anywhere consultations with beneficiaries. So that's been very much around a lot of that social contact. So they're not able to get out and about, maybe go to their normal group sessions that they would normally go to. So really important to have that kind of face-to-face contact with our nursing beneficiaries. Where that's not been possible, where perhaps they're not able to or they don't have access to that technology, we have been picking up the phone on a regular basis and making telephone contact with them. We've also been sending postcards to beneficiaries as well. We should never underestimate the power of the pen, if you like. It's a letter or a postcard is a really tangible piece of communication. Somebody can go back to that and read it again and again. It never gets lost or forgotten, if you like. And the value of keeping in touch with our beneficiaries has been really important to us, and it's really important just to say as well that yes, we can't offer residential nursing services to our beneficiaries, but being able to refer on to our physiotherapists and our exercise therapists and our psychological therapist has been really important as well. And where there's a need, we can offer attend anywhere consultations to support them in various ways.
And as with everything, Kath, for our nursing clients, if they've assumed perhaps that there's no support available for them because of the current situation, the advice is just pick up the phone.
Absolutely. Pick up the phone, call the 0800 number. We are here. We can't support you in the traditional way, but we can support you still in a more digital manner. Yeah.
And I imagine that's the same for you all. I mean, regardless of what's going on in the world and regardless of what your need is, the message is simple. Get in touch.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today, guys. Really appreciate your time. Fantastic to find out a bit more about the amazing and still really quite diverse ways in which we can support people during this strange time. We may be locked down, but it's fantastic to hear all the many innovative ways we can support people digitally during this strange time. So thanks again, all the best, and we'll see you all soon. Take care.
Despite local lockdowns, tier restrictions and now national lockdowns, you've kept on your fundraising throughout, and we're once again going to try and squeeze as many of your shout-outs as possible into our Thank You To segment. So, here goes. Samantha Collins and her firefighter partner walked 100 miles from Land's End to Mevagissey in 9 days, camping along the way. Together, they raised a fantastic £1,737. Warrington White Watch completed the Wire 999 Hellfire Challenge, taking 12 hours to complete 999 casualty drags, hose runs, equipment hauls and ladder climbs. They raised £2,076. Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue Service's new recruits raised over £1,000 by organising and participating in a 10-kilometre hose run. Martin Chester took on the challenge to walk, run or cycle 10k a day and raised £266. David Shipman and team took on the Tom Simpson County Durham Cycle Challenge by completing a one-day 120-mile tour of County Durham, raising over £1,500. Stacey Pearce and Leanne Searle ran 1 mile every hour for 24 hours and raised a fantastic £391. Vicky Collier set herself a challenge to walk, run, crawl, hop, skip or jump 20,000 steps every day for 1 month and raised £293. The Force was with the 5th Legion UK as they undertook an 8-mile walk in Star Wars costumes from Burnley Fire Station to Padiham Fire Station and back again, raising £675. And thank you to Thurso Fire Station in the Highlands for completing an ambitious 100-mile cycle challenge, raising £1,685. Lancashire Fire and Rescue Service streamed a live bonfire night on the 5th of November. The event included a fireworks display, bonfire, firefighter interviews, fire dog demonstrations, fire engine tour and bedtime story for the little ones. They raised an incredible £1,525 from text donations in just 2 hours. And we must say a big thank you to all our incredible UK fire family for their community advice, hard work and commitment in keeping people safe this bonfire night and every night. We are truly grateful for everything that you do. And if that's whetted your appetite for a bit of winter fundraising, here's Sasha Wiltshire and community, corporate and events fundraiser Alan Nell to explain how dressing up as Father Christmas and donning your trainers might be a good place to start.
Alan, welcome to the Shout podcast today.
Hiya, it's great to be here.
So it's been a challenging year for fundraising, as we all know. So you've come up with this great idea to get fire stations and individuals involved with the charity this festive season with your Fire Family Santa Dash. So tell us a bit about this event.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a tough old year with the fundraising, and we've been looking at Christmas and our traditional festive period of collections and Christmas fundraising isn't really going to happen with the pandemic. So we're trying to look at new ways now of how we can still support our charity and raise the funds that keep the services going for our beneficiaries. So we looked at the Santa Dash. Obviously, now we can't all meet together and have a big Santa Dash together. So we've made this virtual Santa Dash this time. And it's basically set your own distance in your own area and come together with your own family, or just go out on your own and just either walk or run or take the dog for a walk, but just as a collective all around the country coming together and supporting the firefighters charity via a virtual Santa Dash.
Oh, and it's lovely really that you don't have a set distance as well, because it really enables so many people to get involved with many different capabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was one of the feelings we had. That there might be some people out there who might fancy running 5k, 10k, but then there's also people who might, for whatever reason, not be able to leave their home. So it might be the case that you do a Santa Dash around your coffee table in the living room. So it's setting your own distance, and you don't have to run it. You can walk it and just take your time and do whatever you fancy around the garden, or if you want to go outside the house, you can just go to the park and have a walk around there. It's a bit of a blank canvas for everyone to do whatever they feel, really.
Especially with the second lockdown, this is a great idea really to raise people's spirits and really to get people motivated.
There's enough doom and gloom out there, so it's something we're asking people to sign up to join into, and have something to look forward to. We've already had a lot of families sign up, and they're all going out together. I know one family's bought full-on Rudolph onesies to do it in. You don't have to dress up, but if you really feel the need that you need to dress up as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and jog around your local park, then absolutely go for it.
I absolutely love the idea of seeing people running around their back gardens or local park in a reindeer onesie. I think that's a fantastic idea. So, of course, I mean, first thing we have to talk about is the date for this. Is there a set date for the Santa Dash?
There's a date we've set. It's Sunday the 13th of December, but we are quite conscious that people are working shifts or just might not be able to do it on that date. So what we're asking is, collectively, if everyone aims for the 13th of December, and then any time of the day, if that be in the morning or the afternoon or go for a walk after tea, then they can do it. But if the 13th is not possible, absolutely, any time they feel like doing it, it's absolutely fine. So if that was a day early or anything like that, or weekend after.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And just to get that community spirit and get people involved, friends and family, I think that's a lovely idea.
Hopefully bring families together. I can only speak for myself. I've got 3 young sons, and it is quite easy for them to get lost on computers and tablets, but it's a great way of our little social bubble if we're still in lockdown at that period, but we can still go out together and take the dog out and just have a nice walk together and just clear our heads and do something fantastic for charity at the same time.
It's an exciting time for the charity as well, because the Santa Dash is being sponsored.
It's fantastic. We've got an amazing company, Asprey, based up in Lancashire, who have franchises all over Britain, and they've supported this for the last 2 years. and they've also agreed to carry on supporting the Firefighters charity. They're a really fun company. They do some amazing stuff for the charity, and we're delighted to have them on board. It really means a lot to the charity to have such a fantastic company supporting us.
Yes, and of course there's been so many people that have supported us through these challenging few months, so yes, it's lovely to get this the support that we need for this.
The fire stations, the fire HQs, fire control, the public have been absolutely amazing, and families of fire service personnel have been amazing, and it's so heartwarming to see what people will do for the Firefighters charity.
So Alan, it sounds like a fantastic event. If people want to get involved, where should they go?
Yeah, so it's really easy. All they need to go is to our website, firefighterscharity.org.uk, and then /Christmas. And all the details are on there. It's £13 for adults, £5 for kids 6 and over, and toddlers go free. And if you want to take your dog as well, that'll cost you £1 as well. So the dogs have to pay their way as well. It's a one-off fee, and there's no fundraising ask. So it's literally just pay your entry fee, and away you go. You're good to go.
If people maybe wanted to do another fundraising activity, didn't quite want to be involved with the Santa Dash, is there other ways they can get involved this festive season to raise money for the charity?
It's a bit of a blank canvas, but it's whatever support we want to do. And if people have a different idea of what they fancy doing over the Christmas period and into November and December, they could just go to our website and just search Christmas on the search bar, and it'll come up with loads of different ideas that you could do outside of the Santa Dash, and how to set up just giving pages and all great advice and stuff like that. So there's loads of ready-made ideas, but if you've got your own, that's absolutely fine. We'll support you along the way as well.
Amazing. Well, okay, thank you so much, Alan, for joining us today. And I suppose it just leaves me to hunt down that Santa hat and get my running gear on.
Absolutely. Get out there. You'll love it.
And to round off another episode of the Shout podcast, let's finish off our roundup of winners from November's Spirit of Fire Awards. The Supporter of the Year Dependent Award was announced by Dame Julie Walters.
I'm delighted to announce that the winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Supporter of the Year Dependent Award goes to, bit of a drum roll everybody, wait for it, the winner is Louise Moody. Go gal.
Yeah, amazing. I was really, really surprised because obviously everyone does such amazing work for the charity, and I've been reading what everyone else has been doing, and yeah, everyone's just incredible, and it was just a real surprise. But it felt great. It was a happy surprise.
Our Supporter of the Year Public Award was announced by Susanna Reid.
The winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Public Supporter of the Year Award is Emma Hughes. Emma, huge congratulations.
I can't even sum up how pleased I was. I was so, and I still can't put it into words properly. It's just so lovely. But I think it's testament to how the Firefighters charity treat people anyway. I think even the tiniest little effort that you make is always really recognised. So the way it was done doesn't surprise me at all.
The Beneficiary of Courage Award was announced by Claire Balding.
The winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Beneficiary of Courage Award is Bob Stovall.
Yes, I was all, bloody hell, I've won. I couldn't quite believe that. If it's doing somebody else some good, well, yeah, fair enough.
Our Supporter of the Year Team Award was announced by Adam Hills.
The winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Team of the Year Award is the Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service Fundraising Committee. Congratulations. Enjoy whatever virtual party you are having.
It's nice to be recognised, but more importantly, it's really nice as the chair that the recognition's there for the team. The team have put a lot of hard work in, and we've had some founding members who are still with us, who've sort of taken it from its infancy to where we are today, and they're the ones that the award is really for. Plus our crews who have really dug deep over the last couple of years and pulled it out the bag in terms of the events they've put on and what they've put themselves through to raise money. So obviously it's really nice, and it's really important that the whole sort of team ethic is recognised.
The Fire and Rescue Service of the Year award was announced by Brian May.
And the winners of the Spirit of Fire award for the Fire and Rescue Service of the Year are the Lancashire Fire and Rescue Service. It gives me great pleasure to offer my congratulations to you guys. You do a wonderful job, and not many people realise what an incredible commitment your life is.
I mean, it's really nice to be recognised for the work that you do, and it's not just one or two people in the service that do this. It's a big team effort, and various people take part in different awards in different areas of fundraising, and it's just really nice to get that recognition on a national level, and it'll give people a lift to go forward and go, you know what, we can raise more money now. And
our Supporter of the Year Firefighter Award was announced by Les Ferdinand.
But unfortunately, can only be one winner. Chris Birdsall-Jones, congratulations and well done.
I was very fortunate to be nominated and got down to the last four, which is great. So I knew that I'd be appearing on the show. How did I feel about it? Well, it was totally unexpected to win. Being shortlisted was an honour in itself. But then moving on from there, it was brilliant. It was a superb night.
And our Lifetime Achievement Award was announced by Michael Sheen.
Absolutely delighted to announce that the winner of the 2020 Spirit of Fire Lifetime Achievement Award is former County Durham and Darlington firefighter and present-day fundraising Goliath, Harry Binion. Harry, you are genuinely a hero.
I knew nothing about it. The point was when Michael Sheen had said the 30-year man, and then 15 years I'd been retired, started dropping then, and when they said around about £200,000 worth of donations, we'd raise around about £200,000, it went with almighty clang. Yes, I knew it then, yeah.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of Shout Podcast. Thanks for listening. As ever, please tell your friends and colleagues to listen, subscribe and review. All the information you need to do so is on the website and on the Firefighters Charity's social media channels. Until next time, take care and stay safe.
You've been listening to the Shout Podcast. For more information on the show and how the Firefighters Charity could support you, check out www.firefighterscharity.org.uk.
If you liked Shout Podcast, you're going to love My Firefighters Charity, the new social media wellbeing and fundraising app for the fire services community. Packed with great wellbeing content from the expert teams at the Firefighters Charity, you can connect with others, join groups, collaborate and have fun with your fire family friends across the UK. And you can get the advice and help you're after from the Firefighters Charity whenever you need it. Head to your app store, search for My Firefighters Charity and register for free today.